Hello, welcome to the Fairy Coach Tarot channel. My name is Raquel. Thank you for being here. Today we have another pick a deck. Today is Tuesday, so we're looking at love and romantic relationships, right? This is a tarot reading that's interactive, so you choose the deck or the fairy that calls you intuitively, and then we look at what are the energies and the advice of the tarot spirits for your love and romantic relationships right now. So we are going to take a look at the main message. What is the main guidance for our love life? And then we're going to look at what do we need to release and what we need to focus on, right? So we get a main message with two other messages of what to release and what to focus on right now. All right. So let's begin by grounding, centering, and connecting through the breath. I always suggest that you are in a place that you feel relaxed and that you are undisturbed at this time. All right, so like this, you can focus more on the deck and the messages that are for you. This is a collective message, so take what resonates and let go of the rest. All right, let's roll those shoulders back, move gently the neck from side to side. All right, and let's take a deep inhale in through the nose. Hold at the top for a couple of seconds and gently exhale, making that exhale longer. All right, releasing all that tension. Right, wiggle a little bit your upper body and choose the deck. There are three different sizes. These are the beautiful backgrounds or the fairy that calls you the most. All right, today we have the purple fairy to begin with, the blue fairy in the middle, and the yellow fairy. Ready? Okay, let's begin with the purple fairy. All right. So today I changed the layout a little bit to make the space bigger, but I do have to admit that I'm very low tech. So doing these videos is something that I am learning as I go. So let me know if you like this format that's bigger. All right, so we can try different things. All right, let's move them a little bit. All right, to wake them up. And let's set the intention. We would like guidance for our love life, the main message, what to release at this time, and what to focus on. And we say a prayer of protection in love and light for our greatest good. This is one of those largest decks that it's better to shuffle sideways, although it is a little bit harder, so bear with me while I find the way that it's better for us to shuffle. Okay, here, one wanted to come out. Let's see if this will be too much. So let's do what to release. All right, what to release. And now what to focus on. Ooh, one jumped. All right. All right. So one jumped. Perfect. So this deck, just to let you know, whenever I try to use it for my daily readings, I fan it out because it's so large. It's so lovely, but it's so large that makes it difficult to shuffle well. But here we go. All right, so we got our main message, and our main message is the Hanged Man, right? So, Major Arcana, I always knock a couple of times. Major Arcana is messages and guidance that is more impactful, right? So, what is the guidance of the Hanged Man for us? What does the spirit of this card want to give us as guidance, right? So the Hanged Man is all about pausing, reflecting, changing your point of view at this time, right? So either you are in a relationship right now or you're not, the Hanged Man invites you to do that, to pause, right? To really reflect and think about where you are in your either relationship or in the stage of trying to find somebody or how you feel about your love life, right? To pause, to reflect, and really try to assess, am I in a happy relationship, or do I want to be in a relationship? To really reflect on things and also to change your perspective. So kind of playing devil's advocate, right, with what your current ways of thinking are towards your relationship or towards your love life, to really reflect by changing that point of view and playing devil's advocate right now, right? And this works perfect if you are also struggling with communication in your relationship, or if you have been facing some challenges, right? And it's an argument is to change that perspective, to try to see things from another point of view, even to try to put yourself in your partner's shoes so you can see things again in a different view, right? And try to empathize sometimes or see what it would feel to be in another's shoes. All right, so this is the main message of the Hanged Man for you right now. Time to pause, reflect, and change your point of view. If you're not in a relationship, this is the perfect week for when you pause to really think about what it is that you want in a relationship. And if this stage of your life right now calls for being in a relationship or not, each one of us may feel different. So these it's great when the Hanged Man, it's a card that I really like because whenever it comes up in a reading, it's kind of like a stop sign. Stop, think about what you're doing, think about how you're seeing things, think about how things have been so far, so you can pause and take assessment of where you're going next. All right, and let's look at what to release. So we have that what to release is the Three of Swords. Here we have a minor arcana with the energies of threes, that three is creation and growth, and swords, air element, thoughts, communication, right? And the Three of Swords in regular tarot here, you can see it as well in the stone, is usually a card that depicts a heart and three swords going through it, right? So it depicts pain, right? So it's that pain. Now, the card sometimes scares us because we feel that it's going to signal that a betrayal is coming, that either cheating or something bad's going to come in our love life. Now, I want to remind you, I try to say this in all my videos, that tarot is a tool, is used in different ways by different readers, right? I do not read predictive because I highly believe the future is fluid, right? So we do have a fate and destiny with my beliefs. However, our choices and our decisions shape our future, create it. So it's more of an empowering perspective. So for me, the Three of Swords in my readings does not mean that you are going to be facing betrayal, right? However, when we take it as advice, like the spirits are giving us advice, it is saying right now, we have it in the position of what to release. There may be some pain that needs to be released, right? Because it is swords and it is communication, perhaps there is something that was said, right? That caused pain, emotional pain for us, or even a situation that happened or that is happening right now, that when we think about it, it's like putting salt into the wound. It hurts us. So the Three of Swords comes with the advice, it's time to heal pain, to heal a pain that either comes from the past or that we are feeling right now, right? And it's saying, think about if for you it is something that was said that was so painful, or it's your thoughts about the situation that happened or that is happening, right? And now it's saying it's time to release that. And the best way to release pain is not to ignore it, right? But to face it and heal it, right? So, a good reflection exercise or a good exercise would be to, and it's funny because we have the hanged man that's telling us to pause. So, it is to do this, to pause as the hanged man is advising, uh, perhaps journaling about these things that cause pain that maybe is influencing your current relationship, if it's something in the past, or these things that were said that are in your mind and keep um, hurting you. So, journaling about it and then doing self energy healing types of exercises in which you release that energy that is blocking and is causing pain, and find ways to process those thoughts. All right. So, very interesting because it's the major arcana is telling you to pause, and what to release is this pain, and it's pain that needs to be acknowledged and looked at in order to release it. Now, let's look at what to focus on. Oh, wow, another major arcana, the world, beautiful one. So, what is the world telling us? Okay, the world is a major arcana about endings, but endings that are beneficial, endings that are important, that are letting us know that we are going into another phase, right? So here the world could signify either that if if we follow the advice of the cards, if you pause, look at the pain, release that pain, right? Heal that pain, and you're currently in a relationship, that could be either that you are able to pass through this stage in your life, and your relationship doesn't mean that it ends, it means that it ends the way it's going right now and enters a new phase, enters a new chapter that is much better, and it's a chapter of growth. Now, it could also signify that once you look at this pain, once you heal it, you acknowledge what's going on, you pause and reflect, that you end the relationship, but you end it not in a catastrophic way, but you end it understanding that the next chapter is actually better for you, and that some relationships are not meant to go with us to the next chapter of our life, right? And if you are not in a relationship, recap here of the cards, it is time to reflect. Reflect about pausing, reflecting if you do want a relationship, if the way you're going about it is the right way, and what pain and what things do you need to heal before entering a new relationship, right? What things you need to face. And then by doing that, also, it's when you are entering this new chapter. And in this case, it also, what I sense highly is that once this pain is acknowledged, healed, or released, that the new chapter will bring, because it will be a positive one, will bring exactly what you're looking for in your love life. All right. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. So, like this, you get reminders of when the next video is. We have something usually. Like every week, different themes, right? And on Tuesdays, we have the love tarot. And also by liking, subscribing, getting those notifications, and sharing these messages, you help a small channel and a small business grow. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, if you want us to look at your particular situation, at your relationship, or what's going on with your love life, know that I have. Live sessions that you can do with me no matter where in the world you are. We can do them either by phone or video, and also pre-recorded readings that get sent directly to your email. So please check the link in the description. I will also leave it down in the comments, right? And like this, you can reach out if you want us to look at your particular situation. All right, let's go now with the blue fairy. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, let's go with the blue fairy. For those of you who picked this one, let's move them a bit and wake them up. I always shuffle them before we start the videos in the morning. So I make sure that I create that sacred space for us, but it's always good to shake them a little bit. All right, give them a little wakey wakey. All right, let's set the intention. We would like guidance for our love life, looking at also what to release and what to focus on in love and light for our highest good. All right. Oh, they're jumpy. Some decks sometimes feel jumpier than others. Oh, all right. Let's what to release, what to focus on at this time. All right. Okay, let's see the main message for us. And who answers the call? The Seven of Swords, right? And here we have the swords again, that it is that air element, right? And that can signify our thoughts, our communication, right? And communication is such a strong point in relationships where there is a lot of misunderstandings, right? So the seven, we have the energy of the seven, but here the Seven of Swords, it's usually a card that shows distrust, right? That we don't fully trust something. So, what is this Seven of Swords advice right now? And it is telling us, okay, what is it that we are not trusting, right? What it is that keeps us, what's the word? So, that keeps us. Not only not trusting the other person, but it's kind of anticipating that they are going to betray us or that they are going to do something. So this Seven of Swords tells you right now, look at what you feel is happening. Look at the if you feel right now that there is a betrayal coming, or are you trusting your partner? Or do you trust yourself? Is there some mistrust of like that perhaps you do not trust your feelings for this person? And if you're not in a relationship, this card also is, what are you fearful of, right? So it could be fear, mistrust, right? And this is what the card wants us to look at, right? And the advice is also, in order to grow your relationship stronger, or if you are planning on being a relationship, one of the tenets, one of the things that keeps our relationships healthy and that it's important besides communication and respect is trust, right? So we need to trust the other person and trust them so we can feel safe around them, not only physically safe, but emotionally safe. So this card is asking you to examine if you're feeling emotionally safe, physically safe, in your relationship, if there is any sort of mistrust right now. And that is something that needs to be addressed, right? So, again, right now, look at what is impacting the relationship negatively, or even your future relationship where there is mistrust, where there is fear, right? And look at that and really think about how to move forward from this mistrust, right? Because a relationship where there isn't any trust, where you do not feel even emotionally safe, can't can be a really hard place to find ourselves in. Now, what to release? And interesting, the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is usually such a lovely card because it's about partnership, is about that connection, that bond between two people sometimes. And it is cups, so it is emotions. And here we have it on to what to release. So this card is telling us, the spirit of this card is telling us that right now what I'm sensing is releasing the romantic idea of relationships sometimes. So sometimes we have this idea of what a relationship should be or has to, or the other person has to be like, that it is such a romantic ideal that we forget that relationships are sometimes a living organism with two people that bring their own experiences, their own baggage into the relationship, their own wounds, and that even though there are periods of great romance and periods of a lot of passion, romantic ideals without seeing the reality of what relationships are can harm us, right? So right now, this card is telling you it's time to release romantic ideals. That does not mean that you have to change. If you're a romantic person, I know I am, and that does not mean that you have to stop being yourself and stop being romantic. That means that you can still see reality for what is, right? And not only see reality, but see relationships for what they are, and the person that we are in a relationship with for who they are, right? So release romantic ideals, right? And very important, going back to the main message, is focusing on mistrust, on what is it that we are fearful of that can happen. And that's an important part to see, and it may be linked to these romantic ideals and what to focus on moving forward, right? And we have the Chariot, major arcana, and a wonderful one. Again, this is one of the cards that I like because of its positivity, because the Chariot is all about success, moving forward and moving to the future. And it goes perfect with this reading because it's telling you what to focus on is the future, where you go from here, and know that the energy forecast, you shape your future with your choices and your decisions, but the energy forecast is telling you, there is success along the way, like there is success coming, whatever that means for you. That means either the relationship moves like you want it, either you find another relationship, but it is a good omen, kind of say, right? And the Chariot is telling you, focus on the future, focus on the success, whatever success means to you. So it's staying in this relationship. It's if you're looking for a relationship, moving into a new one, but focus on that goal, on whatever it is that romantic success means for you, and keep moving forward to the future, right? So quick recap. The Seven of Swords tell us that there is some mistrust, fear that is kind of either it is or it could be blocking energies around our love life. So it's important to look at what it is that we are so fearful of, what betrayal we even expect and are calling for with our energy, right? So it is to examine that and to release romantic relationships and look at the reality of what a relationship is, right? And what to focus on the future, moving past. If this is betrayal from the past that you are keeping alive in your mind, this card is telling you it's time to move forward to the future. This is the wound that needs to be healed. This betrayal or lies that somebody or that happened in the past. And releasing also a romantic relationship, seeing reality for what is, remembering that we are all imperfect. And that's not to excuse anybody that has hurt you, but that's just to see the the reality for what is, to understand that there may be a wound that we need to heal, releasing romantic expectations or ideals that are not realistic. And this will take us towards a future that is happier, that is more joyful, a successful future with the Chariot, right? All right, I hope you liked your message. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And again, because I am seeing all these cards, before was the Three of Swords, now is the Seven of Swords in this reading. If you want us to look more in depth at your situation, know that I offer private readings, either by phone, by a video call, or even by chat, because it's by time, right? So I have something, a quick check-in for some clients that it's a 15-minute, the sweet spot that I call it, that it's that 30-minute session, or even a more in-depth, that's an hour, right? Or even a pre-recorded reading. But I accompany you with my cards, with the tarot, right? I've been a tarotist, a professional tarot reader for many years, reading tarot for like 30. And I'm also a board certified coach and holistic practitioner specializing in energy healing, right? So we can take a look with the tarot and coaching practices more into your particular situation so you can move on to that good future. All right, let's move on to for those of you who picked the yellow fairy. Here it is. Okay. Let's see what this deck has for us. Let's move it a bit. Okay, wake up. And let's set the intention and let the cards what it is that we want to know today. So we would like guidance and advice and for our love life. So our main message, also what to release and what to focus on in love and light for our greatest good. Okay. So let's see. Okay, main message. What to, ooh. Let's see, because they were jumpy. Let's just make sure that if they want to come out again, these ones. All right. Two cards. Yeah, I felt like two cards wanted to come out. Until now, we've had only the other decks, like one card, simple messages, but here we have two cards. Okay, and one again. Okay. Let's see what is the main message for us and who is answering our call, the Six of Stones. Okay, so Six of Stones, and that would be Pentacles. All right, and we have this lovely card that is, look how balanced it is, right? So, what would be the advice from the spirit of the Six of Stones? And it is this, it is balance, right? It is that our love life right now needs balance. A balance in energy, what the energy that we give out, the energy that we receive, more reciprocity, all right, and also more balance in how our relationship or our love life, that aspect of in our life, what that it's balanced with the rest of things. But this is what the Six of Stones is telling you. It's time to examine balance and see if there is reciprocity in our relationship, right? If we are getting as much back as we're putting in, right? If it feels balanced in every way, or if we are the ones that seem to be chasing all the time, or the other person seems to be chasing all the time, right? So this is about finding balance, and this is what the advice is. Now, if you are not in a relationship and you are and you want to be in one, this is also a good question to ask yourself, and it is has to do with balance, and it's, are you making your finding a partner your sole focus of your life right now? Is that what you're doing? Because this card, if you are only focused on finding a partner, being in a relationship, this card is reminding you, you know life, there are different aspects of your life, and balance, having a balanced approach to everything is important, because when we make only one thing of our life our entire focus, we come out of balance, and when we come out of balance, something is not going right for us, right? Our energy is off, so it's important to view things in balance. So main advice for you, it's about balance and seeing how balanced things are, either in your relationship, that's something to reflect on, or if you're not in a relationship, find that balance, that you don't focus only on finding a partner, or maybe you're focusing on something else and you're not putting enough focus on finding a partner. So this is what the card wants you to examine. Now, what to release, and who answered? Two cards. The beautiful healer, that is the Page of Mirrors, right? And the Six of Spirals. All right. So, what to release here? So, this page is, they call her the healer, right? This page, but this page is loving, is intuitive, is emotional sometimes, and could, maybe because it's that energy that is growing, that it's a page, is also this card is telling you right now there may be parts of you that become too emotional, right? And when we are too emotional, following with this, something is out of balance. So our there is there may not be a full peace with us, right? And when I talk about inner calm and peace, and the scientific, or now what we call it to be more science based, is that emotional regulation, right? So our emotions may not be regulated, so we do not have that balance. So what to release is pointing out, this healer, that if there is anything right now that it's making you too emotional, or it's not too, but that it's making you emotional, that's pointing out to a wound, to something that we need to look at, right? And so when you think Ground yourself center, put your hands on your chest, and think about what it is that keeps going around your mind that brings tears into your eyes, right? That makes you emotional, makes you sad. And look into those emotions right now because they are pointing out at something that needs to be healed, something that is painful, right? And the Six of Spirals, again, is saying, is supporting this first card by reminding you of that first message. It's all about balance, right? It's all about finding once you healed whatever it is and you look at whatever it is that it's making you emotional, that it's sad, that it feels like a wound, is when you're going to go back into that balance. That is the main message here. So finding this balance can be done by looking at the wound, looking at whatever is making you feel emotion, and then finding those exercises for emotional regulation, finding ways to feel more grounded, to feel more settled, to feel that inner calm. And that will help you if you are in a relationship, because it seems like there is something that is like a fresh pain kind of thing, that it's a fresh wound. This is what the cards are telling us. And finding healing and finding that balance in everything is important. And even if you are not in a relationship, this is something that maybe you have to look at. And what I'm seeing is perhaps if you are looking for a relationship and you've been wanting a relationship for a while and you haven't found it, that is what's making you emotional. But then this is something to look at because perhaps you're putting all your energy in a relationship. And when you cannot pour from an empty cup, so you need to connect with yourself, learn to love yourself, come from a place that it's more balanced, that it's more healed in order to move forward. All right. Now, what to focus on? And here we have Psyche, and we have the World card, right? And we got the World card in on the first deck, I believe. So again, Major Arcana, impactful message. And what the World card is saying that we need to focus on. We need to focus on the next chapter. So there is what I am sensing here is that again there is a wound that we need to release something, and the card is telling you you will know what you need to release because it is what's making you emotional. That's why I told you go inwards, either by meditation or by just grounding in a place where you can be alone with your thoughts and your feelings, and put your hands on your heart, close your eyes and think about what it is right now that's making you emotional, what is making you tearful, right? And this is something that needs to be released and healed to find balance, and then you can pass to the next chapter. And the next chapter, again, it's the same as before. The next chapter may mean if you are in a relationship that you go into a better place in that relationship because you've been able to heal what needs to be addressed, or that you go into a new relationship or a time period by yourself. But your main advice is that you need balance. It is that you need that inner calm, that peacefulness, of that it's fine through like that emotional regulation. And you know that you are not in balance, your energy is not balanced because something makes you tearful, something makes you emotional. And I bring up the tearful as a way to signal where the discrepancy is in not being in balance, but it could also be something that makes you angry. So it's important that to know that being out of balance, we do not only see it with what makes us sad or makes us, you know, the tearful, that we cry, and it's that grief, but also what's making you angry. So all emotions are valid. We are our souls having this human experience, experiencing a lot of different emotions, right? Now there are some emotions that are lower in vibration, and that means that they block our energy. And if we stay in that stagnant, blocked energy, they can manifest as physical illness, right? Or we cannot grow and create the life we want. So your main message is that balance, and it's looking at either something that is making you very sad, either grief or even very angry, very upsetting, that needs to be healed, brought back into balance. It's like, look at it, find what works for you to bring it back into balance, like the main message says. So release it by bringing it back into balance, and then focusing on where you're going next, focusing on the next chapter of your life. And the next chapter is one of balance and of peace. All right, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, or share this video and these messages, as there may be someone who needs to hear it. If you want us to look at your particular situation, reach out. I am more than happy to answer any questions. And also, you can purchase a live session or a pre-recorded reading. Now, I have daily shorts that's good. To know if you get this notification, so you get the daily shorts. And not only you get the daily shorts, is you get notified when the next video. So just to let you know, on Sundays we have the weekly tarot, the forecast for the week. On Mondays we have work and career. Tuesday we have love and relationship. Wednesday we have messages with the oracle. Thursday, we have energy healing with the tarot. We have chakra readings and we look at our energy. And Fridays, we have the weekend messages, the advice from the spirits for our weekend. So there is always something. Saturdays is the only days that I don't have a video, and we may look at some Saturdays having some live sessions that I can pull a card for you. So let me know if you would like that as well. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope you have an excellent rest of your week, and be gentle with yourself. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you for watching, and brightest blessings your way.